Kishi Kaisei, a bloody ear, a violent bear. This show had everything.
Oh my. Something like that.
Something close to that. Lions, tigers, and bears.
Why don't you put that in ChatGPT and see what kind of picture we get?
You think it would know what a Kishi Kaisei is?
I don't know. I think that it knows a lot and doesn't know a whole lot.
It'd probably just throw zombies in there.
It probably would.
Oh, man. Blue Star Nights are just a joy.
It's amazing. Blue Star Ointment. I'm sorry. It's a really old commercial. It's come on during wrestling a lot overnight.
I don't even know what that is.
It doesn't matter. What matters is that Blue Stars is interesting every time.
It is. And it's like we always go in with these expectations, like thinking we know what's going to happen. And it just totally doesn't. Completely blows us out of the water.
I don't know if this was Speed Show or if because the Marigold Show was 4 hours, it just seemed like this one was...
Oh, no. This one was so fast.
It was pretty fast, wasn't
there
it?
weren't any extra matches.
No.
This was completely just 6 block matches, and they were only 15 minutes each.
Yeah. It was strange. I liked it, though. It was nice.
I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. But welcome back to Wrestling is Her.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Raja, your host, and I'm joined by my co-host, John. And this is our review of Night 7 of the 5 Star Grand Prix from August 20th in Osaka.
Yes.
Nice little crowd of around 500 fans there.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. But we just we jumped in, we swam real fast, and then we got out. It was like no time at all for this show.
No. But you know, it's funny. There was still a lot of noteworthy things happen in the show.
I mean, we're in the very midst of a tournament here.
There's like one thing that bothers me in the show that we'll get to. And this is like my little things about the cover. And it worries me because nothing happens in Joshe.
Right.
That doesn't mean something eventually.
Right. And I think I know what you're talking about. And I know you have comments and thoughts on it.
I do.
But why don't we just start from the beginning?
Good place to start.
And before we start, though, I do want to say, since you brought it up, that Marigold show, the Julia's Arrivederci match.
Arrivederci.
That was my Italian chef kiss.
This is chef kiss.
It was quite a nice match.
It was an amazing match.
Mai Sakurai, getting in there.
Mai Sakurai
doing the most.
Was absolutely the star of the show. She was the belle of the ball.
Yeah.
And what a coming out party.
It was fantastic.
It's like, where have you been my whole life?
Julia,
lady?
of course, got the win on her way.
Well, yeah.
On her way out saying goodbye. But I thought the match was excellent. It was really fun.
It was a really great match. And I just, again, all the flowers to Sakurai because
absolutely
she did so good. I mean, she looked amazing, and the match was really good because of Mai Sakurai.
Yeah, and commentary even mentioned at one point during the match, they were like, did you expect to see this out of Mai Sakurai? And they're like, I thought this was a completely different wrestler coming out here.
No, that and honestly, Nanai's match.
Yes, the tag match with all the seedling girls in there with Arisa and Sari, and then
the Arisa, I mean, just that brutality between them. You know how much I
you could just feel it.
How much I love the throwbacks.
Yes.
Right? So when it just felt like the start again of an old school All Japan match, and the violence there was just
It was good.
It was good. It was a good Marigold card.
Even Chika Goto in there, getting in with the violence. She was on top of it.
So let's give a little round of the clap. Way to go, Marigold. It's nice to see things coming together. And in front of looked like a sold out crowd there. And I mean, pretty damn close.
Yeah,
and Corcoran,
looked really nice. And it was a fun show.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed myself. And as we know, Arisa Nakajima retiring in but 3 days, which is such a such a shame.
It feels like such a jip, don't it?
It does. It feels like we're losing something we shouldn't be losing.
Yeah, it feels like she should have a good 10, 20 years left.
Oh, man. Well, let's talk about some Blue Stars action from Osaka. I did not just do finger guns. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay. I was thinking of Baloo from the Jungle Book while you did it. So
the bare necessities.
Mm-hmm.
From August 20th in Osaka, we started with a Blue Stars A match with Anna Jay versus Miyu Amasaki.
Yes.
And at the beginning of this match, it seemed like Anna wasn't really taking Miyu very seriously. They kept locking up and she would toss her the other direction.
And Anna Jay would say, "Come on!"
Constantly.
"Come on!" And I get it. Like, she doesn't know what they understand, what they don't understand. It's kind of a nervous thing as well. Kind of like the fact that every Anna Jay match in Japan. Anna, air. I know you're listening right now. On your next match, don't take them to all four corners at the opening spot. I love you.
Do something different.
Yeah, no, I honestly, with the fact of Anna Jay is going to hear this in a roundabout way.
Right.
I think you're doing amazing.
She's doing so good.
And I want to give some really big props because Anna Jay has come over, foreigner, gaijin, doing this style, and it's been really good. My favorite match is probably the Xena match so far.
The Xena match was good, and her original opening night match against Shiri was amazing in my opinion.
But in this match, it was very much at the first not taking the opponent serious.
I'm sorry, she faced Sariano in the opening night, and it was the opening night match. It was Sariano. I know my stuff. But yes, Miyu Amasaki and Anna Jay were a great matchup. They both gave it their all, and Miyu trying to dump Anna on her head as much as possible, but that didn't save her from eventually needing to tap to the Queen Slayer.
So I wonder what it's like calling that match when you have spotty Japanese and you're in the back and she's like, DDT, DDT, and it DDT. You know?
The different inflections mean different styles of DDT.
You're saying DDT in different ways. Mm-hmm. DDT.
Which one is which?
Yeah.
Yes, there's the one from the knees, there's the normal one, there's the swinging one, there's the tornado one.
There's the lockup one every now and then. Like the one where you hook the leg, and doesn't she do the murder DDT every now and then? Yeah, I think
so. Yeah. And then of course it's all just setting up for her finisher, that tensai, but she wasn't able to get that.
She was not.
Because Anna Jay got her next 2 points using the Queen Slayer.
She slayed the
forced her to tap out.
Yes.
Miyu tried her very best here.
She did her best.
But she wasn't able to win the match.
No.
So, rating-wise, this was, it was good. Good match. Nothing. There was no, shocking moments or anything. But
No, I mean, I would probably go 275.
Yeah. It was right there.
Yeah.
It was solid.
Yeah.
Next, in Blue Stars B, Rana Yagami versus Risa Sera.
Rana. So we thought Rana had killed Risa at the first of the match.
It was hilarious.
That was, and Risa was just teaching her a lesson. And
yeah, she came in there with that big head kick, and Risa immediately went to the floor and was holding her head. And we've talked about the weirdness with Risa Sera, and she's just here playing us all like fools.
Yeah.
She's like, you thought, but I'm fine.
Because she knows she's in there with an inexperienced girl who's going to worry about her.
Yeah, so she comes out there. She's like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And Risa just gets one over on her.
Risa did my favorite thing and and slap on the head, you know.
She's like, she called her an idiot.
Yeah.
Slapped her on the head. But Risa was in control for this entire match.
I didn't ever feel that she was in trouble.
No, but she did put over Rana Yagami striking backstage after the match. She was like, I didn't realize how good you were. And she was like, when we fight again, I want to see more of that. So Risa's just out here like, I liked fighting you. Let's do it again. Every single match.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the thing. We get that a lot with Rana's matches. Is people are not expecting her striking to be at the level they are. I think she'll be one of the premium strikers.
Oh, absolutely.
Very soon.
She's just getting started.
Yeah.
But she's already so good.
She is.
But Risa Sera was able to get the win in this match. She used her air raid crash, jumping air raid crash. That just looks devastating to get her next 2 points.
And again, I think it's right about 275.
Yeah, it was a similar sort of match feel. There wasn't much there for Rana, but
no real,
it made sense.
No real Jeopardy comebacks, all that good stuff.
Right.
Opening match stuff.
Next, in Blue Stars A,
business is about to pick up.
We had Shiri versus Koguma.
And one of the matches of the night, for sure.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. So they come out here, and Koguma, she's all cute.
Give a little
and
history now. Give a little history with Shiri, Rana.
Okay, so if you've been watching, or if you haven't been watching, recently there's been this whole joke with Koguma and her bear dance, where when she's in the ring with Rana Yagami, she'll try to get her to do the bear ears.
Yes.
And Rana will kind of get into it a little and try to resist.
This goes back to Rana's first matches with Sherry.
Yes, with God's Eye. But if Sherry's there ringside, she'll stop her. She'll go, Rana. And then she'll give her this look like, don't you dare be a bear.
Yeah.
And then if there was once that Sherry wasn't out there, Rana like looked around ringside and she was like really excited because she was going to do it. But then Sherry like popped out of nowhere and stopped her. And then they forced Rana to be a bear.
Yes.
But Sherry is not about that.
Right.
She is not about
No
the bear
games.
dance. She's not here to play, especially right now.
Yeah.
She's like dialed in. Like she's got this scary look from the very start of the match. But Kuma gonna Kuma. She didn't try to do the bear dance to her credit. No. She didn't bear dance, but she did get Sherry in the camel clutch position and put the bear ears on her head, which Sherry was not happy about.
One of the greatest facials of the year, probably.
Oh my god. Sherry's faces that she makes in matches are already hilarious and amazing, but this face, the way she looked so done, and then she just wrenches her arms off Koguma's knees and starts crawling to the ropes like army crawl style. And Koguma's like looking around with her hand still on Sherry's head.
And then she begs off and somehow ends up on Sherry's shoulders.
Yes.
And at that point, she once again traps her arms.
She
and
makes
uses
Sherry
her arms. Yeah.
do the bears on herself.
Does the Kuma.
And the look that Sherry gives.
Yeah.
You just know that Koguma's in for it.
Yeah, it was totally, I just set in cake or something.
And she kicked the ever-loving crap out of her.
Yeah, she kicked the bears out of her.
But Koguma did not die, to her credit. She stayed alive here. She did at one point like jump off the top rope and like slam Sherry into the ropes, and it looks so nasty.
Yeah.
the way she hit.
It did, and everybody got a hush, and then all of a sudden Koguma had to be like, yay, and everybody clapped,
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah. I think everyone was just worried for her health and safety at this point.
I believe so. She's like everybody's little sister.
There are a couple really cool near falls, like Kuma rolling up the Kuma roll at one point, and Sherry was able to kick out.
Which is rare.
Then Kuma kicking out of a really cool slam from Sherry.
To be honest, when Sherry kicked out of the Kuma roll, I thought there was no chance in hell that Koguma was going to win.
It's like, oh, that was her best shot, right?
Yeah.
But when Sherry got Koguma up for the Ryoan driver, her finisher, Koguma took the driver and then rolled Sherry up into a normal roll-up pin and got the 3 count.
Yeah, completely.
I screamed. I was like, oh my God, what just happened?
Which, I mean, you can look at this for focus being too much sometimes when you're focused on other things.
Yeah.
She is laser focused, but she's laser focused on Konami.
She is on Hate and Konami in particular.
Yeah.
And Koguma was probably just like written off already in her book. She didn't it didn't seem like she was looking past Koguma so much, but I feel like she felt very confident coming into this match that she was going to win.
Yeah.
The look on her face when she got pinned said as much.
I mean, Koguma's one of those anomalies that she can come out completely serious and give you the fight of your life, or she can come out and be kind of goofy and still get the slip over.
Yeah, and I love the way that they married these two people in this match, like the styles, the differing personalities. I thought it just worked so well.
Me too.
And backstage, Koguma telling everyone that Sherry's weakness is bears, and to confuse her by using bear on her. So that just makes it so much better.
So what would you give it rating wise?
Oh, I'm tempted to do the full 4.
Really?
Honestly, I enjoyed it so much.
You know what? I'm not against that, just because it's a fun match.
And there were some cool false finishes and stuff.
In our rules, we rate them for what they are, right? So for a Kuma match,
for a Koguma match,
it's a 4. For a Sherry match, it might be a 3.5.
Yeah, so, it's definitely in that range.
Yeah, so
high 3 or 4, full stop at the 4.
all right. 3.75.
Okay, we'll split the difference. After that, Blue Stars B match, Saki Kashima taking on Saya Kamatani. And this was a match that we were very much looking forward to. I'm sure a lot of people were, because of the whole Saki question, which is, how is she going to act when she gets in the ring with someone from Hate? And we speculated that maybe she would pull a ruse here and pretend she was just going to do her normal thing with the advert.
We had this all planned out.
And trick Saya and just whack her with it and win really quick. That didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
Saki came out here to prove that she's not afraid
She did
of hate.
She did the fast walk.
Yes.
Head down.
Yes.
Serious.
She's in the ring, staring straight at Saya Kamatani, not trying to run or anything like that. She came in here to fight, and she made that very apparent from the start. But I absolutely love the fact that it isn't one of those things like you might see in an anime where a character's like really silly or really lazy or really goofy, but a switch flips and suddenly they're the most powerful person in the room, you know?
Right.
I like that Saki Kashima's still kind of clumsy and like not the best wrestler in the world as soon as she turns it on.
But she is mad.
And it makes you want to root for her so much more because she's still the underdog, but she's trying so hard to get this win for her friends.
And root for her, they did.
It's so cool. And then she was so passionate about it. And Saya was so mean to her the whole time. But even more surprisingly than everything that we've seen probably, in a match that wasn't just a flash pin from the start.
Right.
That had actual wrestling for a good amount of time. Saki Kashima was able to pin Saya Kamatani.
She was.
With the Kishikaise.
It was.
But there was a lot of moments in that match that Saya could have taken the win.
Yeah, it was deep in the match before we got it. You're right. It was a really good match. It was back and forth. I mean, there was outside the ring stuff. And it was funny because Daichi always acts almost like it's his daughter or something with Saki. we love that relationship they have, but
oh man,
he was just like, no, he didn't want her to go outside the ring.
Saya's out there taunting her, and I'm sitting here like, don't go out there. You know what's gonna happen. And Daichi's basically like telling Saki the same thing, but Saki goes out there anyway.
Yeah, and that was
because she's so mad.
Yeah.
And then after she won the match, she was like, "There's something I've been doing all 5-star, and I have to do it now." So she gets her ad and holds it up. But before that, she did say, she called out Saya and was like, "I'm not going to turn around and run from you anymore. And next time we meet, I'm going to get 3 on you again." And the crowd was like loving it, that attitude.
Yeah, it's great to see this growth of the character. And
it is.
What a resurgence in her career,
Yeah, because it gives her, like, the comedy thing is fun, but to see her have these flashes of like really brilliant matches and just having her give it her all in some situations.
I love the whole story. I love all the way back to Oedo Tai, and then with getting thrown away and the whole hiding in the gym with God's Eye and just everything that's happened with her.
Sleeping when she's supposed to be cleaning.
It's been such a cool story because she's fallen in love with them and with Sherry's leadership.
Yeah,
and
everything from her getting kicked out to being scared to be in the ring.
To being the most loyal person Sherry has.
To being Sherry's best friend and Konami calling her out as not part of God's Eye. And
never forget that.
There's so much that's happened to her since that cage match, like just over a year ago.
Yeah.
And she's really come back around to like, okay, I'm done with your crap. I'm not taking it anymore.
Absolutely.
She's conquering her demons.
So if you go story, match, everything, what do you think?
I think it was probably match-wise, like 3.75.
Me too.
Yeah, so about this, like on par with the last match.
It's exactly what I wrote down.
It was really enjoyable just from a story perspective.
It was very story heavy,
and the fact that Saki won,
which is crazy,
insane. I was not expecting that.
It's really my points. My bingo card is really messed up in this night.
Oh man, like my picks went way off the rails.
Yeah.
After that, we had the semi-main event. Blue Stars B, Suzu Suzuki versus Tekla.
Felt like the main event.
Holy crap. These two beat the tar out of each other. Everything they did was so rough and so hardcore.
Right.
I don't know what has been said between them, but they came out here and decided that they were going to brawl. And that's what they did.
Well, I mean, they're two of the stronger, brawler, tough girls in the whole Fed.
They are. They have a very almost similar fight style while having their differences. And Suzu, I just love her so much. She's so full of like vinegar. I love seeing her wrestle. And to see her like this with those kicks and the strikes and even the chair shots didn't bother me. In this match, like they each got one on each other.
And the blood.
It didn't really take away that much, yes. And then Suzu's ear getting busted somehow during the match. Tekla using a fan's homemade laminated signs to beat Suzu on the outside of the ring. Just from start to finish, I was like totally dialed in.
Yeah, it was a great
to this match. And I was even more excited because Suzu was able to hit her infamous tequila shot that got her the pin. 1, 2, 3. 2 more points for Suzu Suzuki. And Tekla seemed impressed as well.
Yes.
She actually, Suzu got the mic first and was talking about how Tekla's never beat her and she shouldn't say such cocky things until she's able to beat her in a match. And Tekla was like, you're pretty tough, Suzu. And she's like, over here, she's like, you're not an idol at all. You could come hang with us cool girls over here. And she's like patting her hate armband and holding out the hand like a handshake. And Suzu, of course, goes up like she's going to shake the hand, but then she just smacks her right across the face pretty hard. And I believe that's the moment you're talking about with everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, I see that being a seed. Maybe it's a seed that is a season early, right?
Right.
But it's still a seed that I think plants. And it makes so much sense. It's one of those things that when you see it, you're like, oh, wow. And then you see the whole life of Suzu Suzuki with hate. And you're like, Jesus Christ, like the black and the attitude.
You think a year from now we might be looking back like that handshake that Tekla gave her in the 5-star.
I can see Suzu leading the faction.
Suzu as a heel, straight heel, all black, in hate, just... it feels a certain kind of right.
Yeah, with the faction. If she was like a faction leader with the microphone, I mean, dude, she's so ruthless.
Like, look at Neo Genesis, like the 5 Neo Genesis members.
Right.
All they're pretty neon and they're light colors and everything. And then there's Suzu.
Yeah,
there.
Suzu, who just happens to be friends with May, and that's how that all started.
Yes, because her and May formed a bond.
Yeah.
They became Crazy Star, and they were like such an odd couple and such an unlikely duo that it just was amazing, and they became the best of friends.
Because they were both indies.
That's all. Yeah, they weren't in a faction, so they just made their own little thing off to the side. But that's the reason that she's, and plus the O2 birthday.
It just reminds me, this is so weird, but it's a high school thing. When I was in high school, I was a wild child. I was that leather jacket wearing, tight jeans wearing, drinking, fighting. That was me.
Right.
And I met this guy, right? And he was a turtleneck wearing, lived on in the country club, golf course, like, you know, and all his friends were uppity. And I had never been around that type of people before where they actually had things mattered.
Right.
Like they could only date certain people. Like there was this group of girls that they dated.
Wow.
And they would go between this one and that one, you know, and like it was a big deal. And they would talk about what college they were going to go to. And and I was used to sitting in a barn in a field shooting at cows and stuff. No, I mean, we never shot at cows. You
That's
know,
a joke.
Yeah, but just drinking moonshine and racing and, you know, just things like that. Guy stuff. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. There was an allure to it.
Right.
And I remember my friend Mike saying, hey, when he was going to first introduce me to the friends, right? And me and him had been hanging out, and he was already on the wild side, you know.
Right.
And he was just like, he's like, let me do the talking at first, John, and blah 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 blah. And he's like, I said, what are you so worried about? And he's like, well, it's just you're a bit taboo. And I'll never forget that. And the reason is I loved how it made me feel. But at the same time, I always felt that imposter thing, you know, like.
Right. It kind of just reinforces that you're not supposed to be here feeling.
I have felt that for Suzu Suzuki. And it's one of those things, you ever have things flash in your mind that you don't talk about? Because there's no reason to talk about it. But when you watch something or when you see something, you think about something. It reminds you of something.
Right.
This, ever since Suzu has been with Neo Genesis, I have thought about that part of my life and thought about how funny it is that Suzu is totally that wild child.
Right.
That is having the time of her life, but there's some little element of fun that these girls probably don't understand.
Right. I get what you're saying. Like that first night when they introduced us to Neo Genesis and all 5 of them came out together and they're all in their new gear and with their new looks and everything. And then I just remember thinking, wow, Sue's like one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
And I love Suzu Suzuki, and I love that she's in this group because it just makes so much sense. But on a level, it's like, is this where she belongs long term?
I mean, this girl came from living in a dojo with Julia.
Yeah.
You know, she went
buddying up with Risa Sarah.
Yeah, buddying up with Risa Sarah and into a traveling hardcore group, a traveling deathmatch troupe.
Yeah.
Into somehow stumbling into Stardom to basically go after Julia and kill her.
Yes.
But, you know, we went through all that and all the wowness of last year.
Mm-hmm. Winning the 5-star Grand Prix.
Winning the 5-star when you're not supposed to, you know, that girl don't even go here, you know?
Right.
All the stuff she's been through. And yeah, it's been a whirlwind for her. So now feeling like you belong has to be wonderful.
Right.
But there's no way she doesn't have just a tinge of imposter syndrome in that idol group.
There's an almost feeling of like, they all got together and May was like, this is my friend.
Right.
Can she hang out with us?
That's what I mean, yeah.
And you just look at the other 4 girls in this group and tell me if any of them would say something like, I want to wear a wedding dress with scars all over my back when I get married.
Yeah.
Like Suzu Suzuki has in the past.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because, yeah, you're going to totally let May's friend come in. Plus, it's Suzu Suzuki, arguably the greatest of all of us, you know, in a wrestling match.
Right.
And
she's the brawler.
Yeah. I mean,
she's going to protect.
It's perfect. I mean, you know, hey, they've got Hazuki over there and they've got Tekla over here.
Right. We need one.
So I get it. Listen, I love it either way.
Me too. I do love her with Neo Genesis. I think it's adorable and I love it to death. But thinking about her in hate, would it be the end of the world? I don't know. I don't think so.
It just got me thinking. It's so interesting because when they do,
I love it.
When they do stuff like this, it kills me because
it feels like they're trying to tell you something.
They don't do anything for no reason.
Right. And there's totally the chance that Tekla just did this to be Tekla. I mean, it's Tekla.
If anybody's going to kind of go off on their own.
Yeah. It's the Gabe Kid of Stardom.
Yes.
But that match had me totally hooked from start to finish. It was my match of the night, I think. Just wrestling-wise, it was so good. So I have to put it up there in the 4-star range.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for me, it was a 4-star match.
It's a 4-star match.
It was fantastic. They were both, like, losing it by the end.
It's a 4-star match from, you know, violence alone.
Yeah, the violence was heavy in this one. In the main event, we had the Blue Stars A match between Sariano and Xena. And this was a really good match. There was like this whole funny bit at the beginning where Sari was completely ducking every single chop that Xena threw at her. She was like, she even rubbed her chest at one point. She's like, you can't have this.
Yeah.
It was great. But Sari was actually the first one to get a chop in this match. And even as we got into like the 10-minute mark of the match, they were throwing forearms. Like Xena wasn't even trying for a chop until late in the match, and then she finally was able
lit her up
to get some out. There was like a nasty thunderstruck in this match that just went off course enough that looked like it hurt so bad.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But by the end of this match, Sariano was able to throw on her trusty pottering and get the pin over Xena for 2 more points.
When she got the pottering, she made a little sound that was almost like, oh my God.
Like, oh, I got it.
Yeah,
it's on.
I got it. It's over. And it was a good match.
It was.
It wasn't a bad match.
I was kind of out of breath after that semi-main event. I was
but
like,
again, it felt like maybe because they let the semis go, don't they? They
do.
They let the semi and the main both kind of get to do what they want. Mm-hmm. And that semi, it was better than the main.
It was, in my opinion, I enjoyed it better. This was a really well worked match. Like there was nothing at all wrong with it. It just didn't grip me like the semi-main did.
Never did I feel the conclusion of this match to be in doubt.
Right. You kind of know what's going to happen. They have started doing this cool thing during the Double Down where they fade the cameras. Like really, it's ambiance, you know.
The fact that we noticed the fading of the cameras.
It's like the 3rd time they've done it.
Yeah, I think 3.5 because it was a good average match.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
It just wasn't gripping.
No, it didn't. It didn't ever like pull me out of my seat, and like
No.
make me go, whoo.
It wasn't your normal Stardom 5-star match.
No, but it was a good way to end, like cool down a little in this night on a nice little high note there for Sariano.
I'm hoping that the next group, and of course we're going to have a slew of matches in a row now.
Whew.
And
yes, Sariano actually called out her 8:24 match against Dash Chisako. She said she's carrying all of Sendai Girls with her
dear God.
in this tournament along with Stardom. And she's putting that title on the line in Sendai Girls this weekend against Dash Chisako, which is a hell of a match to have the night before the tournament final matches.
Yeah, it's...
Because obviously the 24th is going to be her bye night for the 5-star.
Oh,
because
dear God.
How's she going to compete?
This could be bad.
It could be. It could really derail her.
Dash is going to come like hellfire.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if she has another gear, but...
I don't think she does.
So far, all I've seen is hellfire
I think
gear.
Dash Chisako only has Hardcore Queen gear.
Yeah.
So, the standings for Blue Stars have changed a little bit.
A little bit.
Starting with Blue Stars A, we have Sari Ano sitting atop the block on her own with 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
And below her, Starlight Kid has 5.
Mm-hmm.
But she has had one less match than Saori. So she's still pretty much on par with her. Then Shiri, Xena, Anna Jay, and Koguma all have 4 points. And Miyu Amasaki is all alone at the bottom with 2 points. Surprisingly, not yet eliminated because she could still get 6 points.
That's so crazy.
Blue Stars A is the most, like, it's very even, and it's going to be like the last night before we know who all, like, everyone's going to get eliminated on the last night.
Yeah, and I still think now more than ever, I think SOK has it.
Oh, yeah. I think Starlight Kid's definitely the number 1. Number 2 wise, I'm now, like, torn between Shiri and Sariano. I, like, don't know who's going to get it.
Yeah, it's up in the air. I think Shiri might be the nod.
So Sariano still has to face Koguma, which seems like would be a win for her to get her full 9 that she's able to get.
She'll beat Koguma.
Shiri still has to face Xena and Miyu Amasaki.
So if she splits those, I don't know. I think Shiri will get those too, though. I mean, this is crazy.
Well, if Sariano and Starlight Kid win all their matches, win out, they'll each have 9 points, and then Shiri's only able to get 8. So if every one of them wins out, Shiri or Sariano and Starlight Kid will be the top 2 to go to the quarterfinals.
I think the Dash match may influence this tournament.
It might. It very well could, because Koguma on the final night after you face Dash Chisako, it could be a thing.
Yeah.
She could come in there on the back foot from that match.
Just to be honest with you, though, I really think that SOK has her best shot.
Oh, yeah. SOK's going regardless, I
think. I really believe that she's got an incredible shot at making this.
Unless she drops her matches to also Xena and Miyu Amasaki.
Yeah.
That Miyu match is going to be hot fire.
It'll be emotional. It'll be good. The Xena match is going to be really interesting because Xena is hell of a hard out.
She is, yes. I agree. And she's only got 4 points right now, so she's going to be out for blood.
Absolutely.
So, Blue Stars B, we now have Saya Kamatani and Risa Sera, both at the top with 6 points. Mm-hmm. Followed by Hanan and Suzu Suzuki, who each have 5 points. Saki Kashima with 4 points, and Rana Yagami and Tekla with 2 points each. Unfortunately, this 2 points does eliminate Rana Yagami from being able to get to the quarterfinals because she can only get 6 points, and she's lost to both Saya Kamatani and Risa Sera, who already have 6 points. So there's no chance for her, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Tekla still has a chance if she can beat Risa Sera, win all of the rest of her matches, and they don't get any more points.
Yeah.
Very slim chance.
At this point, I'm looking, obviously, Saya.
Obviously, yeah.
Hana and...
After this last match against Tekla, Suzu, suddenly jumped into that top,
I think so.
More believably.
And that's what I was going to say, is that for the first time in this tournament, shame on me,
yeah,
I believe that Suzu Suzuki has a chance.
Suzu and Hanan, I think that draw they had is going to matter a lot. First night draw is going to matter a lot come the last night of the tournament.
First night draws matter because they are so important. I mean, like they mattered right then.
Yeah, absolutely. So Suzu doesn't have it terribly easy. She still has to face Saya Kamatani and Rana Yagami. I'm really looking forward to the Rana match.
So I think Saya Kamatani gets that match, and that might be the decider right there.
Yeah, probably, because Hanan actually still has to face Saya as well. So Saya versus Hanan will be a big thing. Like, I think that
Which
helps
one
decide.
is final?
I'm not sure. I don't have the full schedule pulled up, but I can pull it up.
No, I mean, I was just wondering because of the fact that a lot of times that might tell you something on how the other one's going to go. Since they're going to face both those people, you would think that the one on the final night would be the one that would come down to.
So Blue Stars B on the 25th, the final night of regular block action, it's Saya Kamatani versus Hanan and Suzu versus Rana. So I'd say that match says whether Hanan gets to the final or not.
So Saya beats Suzu the night before. And
Hanan needs the win.
Yeah.
And she gets it. Maybe.
And I don't think
I think Saya's going for sure to the quarterfinals. Yeah. I would be happy either way with Suzu or Hanan, but I still feel that it's Hanan's year, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think Suzu loses anything by not making it this year.
No, I don't either. I think that, again, she's had some ups and downs. She's not been there the whole time. I think almost you have to look at somebody rewardment wise, right? Like,
absolutely.
Hanan, man, she's so hot. She's had such a hot hand.
She's on fire.
She's went up and down with some stuff, but she's had some match of the year candidates. And
I mean, she's already beat Tekla and Risa Serra, which are both huge wins, and the draw with Suzuki. So
I want to see Hanan in that final mix.
Yeah, her only loss is that quick flash pin to Saki Kashima. So I think she's ready to come out here and just grab these last two.
Wouldn't you love to see her in that final mix?
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely.
Jesus, man, those final mix is going to be some incredible matches.
I know. I'm so excited for the final night. So this weekend, is absolutely insane for wrestling. Friday, the 23rd, which is technically Thursday night here, we have Red Stars action. The next night, we have Blue Stars action. The next night, we have both in the block finals, like to decide who's going to the quarterfinals in the next 3 days. Also, on the 24th, we have the Sendai Girl Show. And on the 25th is All In. This weekend is absolutely bonkers.
It really is.
It's going to be crazy keeping up with all this. With 3 nights in a row of action, it's going to be down to the wire.
It's going to be a lot of fun, though.
Especially since the 23rd is one of those 5:30 a.m. shows, and then the next night is at midnight, so it's like barely any time in between.
We'll be able to turn it good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the next night, August 23rd in Sendai at the Sendai Pit.
Yes.
At 5:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Japanese time. Red Stars A, Maika versus Hazuki.
What a match.
Already I'm excited.
What a match.
So currently, Maika is the only person still undefeated wins-wise. Like, she's not had any draws or losses. Right. She's completely undefeated.
Yeah, until this match.
She's the only person that can still get 12 points.
Yeah, well, too bad.
If Hazuki beats her in this match, they will be tied at the 8 points. And Hazuki will have the tiebreaker, obviously. But that doesn't matter because 2 people go. But oh, this is so hard. Because I've been loving some Maika. I've been really enjoying Maika. But Hazuki has been a force. And like I said in the last episode, it's hard to be a Hazuki denier so far in this tournament with what she's been doing.
So my heart is with Hazuki in this match. My gut is probably with Maika because I feel so strongly about Poi.
I don't know. I think Hazuki is going to get the win here. And I don't think it's going to bother Poi because I think she might also win on this night. So they'll all be tied at the top.
Okay.
And there's probably going to be some crazy stuff happen because after that, on the final night, it's Hazuki versus Natsupoi.
Oh, wow.
So I feel like that's going to decide which of them goes to the quarterfinals.
Oh, my God. That match.
That's I can't even think about it right now.
Oh my
But
God.
Maika versus Hazuki as well.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Some incredible matches.
I was like, I can't.
We're there.
Can't.
We're there.
So Natsupoi is facing Manami, which is a match we've been looking forward to since the tag match way back in June, heading into, or on July 4th, when it was right before Saori versus Mika 2. And Natsupoi and Manami had a lot of words in that match.
Yeah.
And we have Natsupoi up here at 6, possibly getting 8, and Manami currently sitting at 5. So anything could happen.
It
but
could.
I think Natsupoi is going to win going into that final match with Hazuki.
I do too.
They're going to go in tied, and it's going to be cuckoo bananas.
Cuckoo Momo bananas.
And then the final Red Stars A match is Konami versus Yuna Mizumori.
Yeah, no, man.
Holy moly. Yuna still has no points. And Konami's currently sitting at 4 points.
I got to go with Yuna.
I'm picking Yuna just on principle alone.
Yeah, me too. I just think that she's going to...
She has to get at least 2 points here.
Yeah, I just think that the violence of this could be, worth it.
Absolutely. And she's facing Ruaka on the final night, which is already like a feud between those two with the whole black box thing. But I think she's going to rev up here and beat Konami first.
I mean, it'd be cool to see her get 4 points.
It would.
Yeah.
Red Stars B. Mayu Iwatani versus Mei Seira.
Oh, my God. What a match. The match that one of them could be in traction after this.
Yeah.
The violence of this match.
All the drop kicks. Every drop kick that ever has been thrown will be in this match.
It's going to be an incredible match.
I'm so scared about it, but also incredibly excited. And I don't know if May is going to win and go up to 8 points with Azumi and like continue the O2 line sort
She's
of.
Not going to win. I'm sorry.
She's had enough.
I refuse.
She beat Saida.
I refuse. Mayu Iwatani is going to
too.
Mayu Iwatani all over the place.
Tam Nakano versus Tomoka Inaba. Tam's still sitting at 0 points down there at the bottom.
I think Tomoka.
You think she's going to take advantage of the hurt leg?
Yeah, I think this is a big story.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, if you're going to lose, why lose when just get like 2 or 4 points?
Yeah.
Just lose it all the way and then come out and win a red belt.
And we do have Tomoka versus Mayu on the final night, which could be a big stakes match. If Tomoka were to win this and Mayu were to win hers, they'd be going in tied as well. So that would be super cool.
And I mean, there's also the chance of some of these going to draws, by the way.
So. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I'm just ready to see people smash people.
Yeah.
And then Saida versus Momo Watanabe.
Oh.
Of course, both of these people are already, they can't make it to the quarterfinals. They've both got 2 points. Momo's like out for vengeance, I think, against people.
Yeah, I'm going to go Saida.
Oh, I want Saida to win so bad.
But you think Momo's going to win?
I think Momo's going to win.
Okay.
I hate it. I hate it for her. I hate it for Saya because she's so good and so amazing. But I don't think Momo's going to get out of this ring without winning, and it's probably going to have to do with a lot of interference.
Yeah, right.
But I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm too.
For this night, for the 24th, for the 25th, for this whole weekend. I'm absolutely, like, after this weekend, we're going to know who's going to the quarterfinals. Mm-hmm. And there's only going to be 2 nights left of the tournament.
I know.
How crazy is that we're already this deep?
It's incredibly crazy, and it's been so fun. And
it's been the most fun I've had with anything wrestling all year.
It's been not exhausting or anything. It's been amazing.
It's actually been really great, and like watching it live has been fun, and doing these reviews hasn't been like, it's not hard at all. It's just so fun to sit down immediately and talk about all our thoughts and feelings that we have while we're watching it, like while they're fresh.
Because we love it.
I love it so much.
Yeah, and we're so excited about what's coming up.
And we're so happy that you're here with us listening to these reviews.
Absolutely.
And we want to hear your thoughts and everything that you think about what's been going on in the 5-star, who you think's going to win and go to the quarterfinals and all of that. Are you excited for All In this weekend? What are you doing? How are you going to celebrate?
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. We're excited. We're going to be tweeting all the Stardom shows live at Wrestling Is Her on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube at Wrestling Is Her, where we also upload this podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all of the good stuff that, where you like to listen. And make sure you come back after the 23rd to listen to our review of that night, and we will see you then. But for now, I'm Raja. He's John. So long from Wrestling Is Her. Bye.